Good afternoon. This is News Hour on the Australian Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown, and I am Stella Bangura. Coming up, hundreds of residents in Kenema benefit from free specialist medical outreach organized by SLMDA and its partners. Kenema District receives 3 renovated ambulances to strengthen emergency healthcare services. And Old Edwardians Association ushers in new leadership, which unveils its 100-day development plan. These stories plus more are lined up in this edition of News Hour. Stay with us. Welcome back. And now for our first story. Hundreds of residents in Kenema have received free specialist healthcare services during a 2-day medical outreach organized by the Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Development partners. The outreach forms part of the association's Media Congress 2026 and its 55th anniversary celebrations held under the theme, The Role of Health Professionals in Achieving Zero Preventable Maternal and Child Deaths in Sierra Leone. Esther Sako has the story.
At Kenema Government Hospital and Anga Community Health Center in Sami Foluka Village, Kabondo, Kaiboma Section, Kenema District, hope arrived early. Long before the doctors settled into the stations, patients had already formed queues. Some came seeking relief from years of pain, others arrived hoping for answers to health conditions they had lived with silently for too long. For many residents in the eastern region, specialist medical care often means expensive journeys to Freetown. This week, however, the specialist came to them. Cardiologists checked heart, dermatologists treated skin conditions, dentists eased years of toothache, ophthalmologists did eye surgeries. Women received cervical cancer screenings, while children were attended to by pediatric specialists. Ami Aku, who underwent cataract surgery, said she was overwhelmed with gratitude. I could hardly see. Today, I see people clearly again. I thank God and the doctors for giving me back my sight. Another beneficiary, an elderly man who is a carpenter, expressed gratitude for the surgery as his eyes are important for his job.
You see, I'm a carpenter. Even with them, it can be very difficult for
carpenter. My eyes are important to my job. I have been struggling, but now that my eyes have been operated, it means a lot to me. I appreciate SLMDA for the free treatment.
Plenty, thank you for what they do for me. I'm happy.
District Medical Officer, Kenema District Health Management Team, Dr. Donald Grant, described the outreach as a major boost for healthcare delivery in the region, stating that more than 200 cataract surgeries and over 100 free specialist procedures were planned during the exercise.
Wonderful day for us because we have a team of doctors all over the country, Sierra Leonean doctors that are here to boost the health system like a surge, right, to strengthen the hands of our colleague doctors and other healthcare workers to attend to our patients within Kenema District.
President of the Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Ahmed Sharif, said the move supports the Ministry of Health 300 Days of Activism campaign aimed at reducing maternal and child mortality across the country. He assured beneficiaries that similar outreach programs would continue in other districts.
This multi-dimensional approach that we took to having this outreach, not only to limit it to the consultations or to some minor surgeries, the fact that we made it multiple specialties has been something really unique. We saw patients recovering their sight after the eye surgeries were done, and that was really beautiful.
For hundreds of people across Kenema and surrounding communities, the program was more than free healthcare. It was a chance to regain sight, restore dignity, and look forward to a healthier future. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
Kenema District just got a lifeline on wheels. 3 fully renovated ambulances rolled into Kenema Government Hospital by the Ministry of Health through the National Emergency Medical Services. For families in Kenema, the ambulances mean more than transport. They are mobile first aid units built to stabilize patients and get them to hospital care during emergencies. Esther Sako again.
They hand over the keys for the 3 ambulances there.
The 3 ambulances are expected to boost emergency response across the eastern region. Dr. Donald Grant, District Medical Officer for Kenema, said the 3 ambulances won't sit packed at the hospital. He said they will be deployed to communities to respond swiftly to emergencies, adding strength to the district's existing fleet. Dr. Songo Koidoma of the National Emergency Medical Service said his team has been supporting ambulance renovations and donations nationwide with one goal: bringing medical services closer to people's doorsteps.
In Kenema, we have 3 functional ambulances there. We have a few major issues. So these are ambulances that have been innovated, they've been fitted, and they're here to complement the deficits.
Minister of Health Dr. Austin Demby said it is the vision of the president that every area of the country has access to medical service. He said the ambulances are not just vehicles but are mobile first aid units built to stabilize patients and get them to hospital care during emergencies, urging the people of Kenema to own the ambulances.
These ambulances are not going to be sitting in hospitals. They will be in strategic locations, and they all have GPS capabilities, so you know where they are, and the dispatcher knows where they are. They know the proximity to the accident site or where they're needed. They know the distance to the respective hospitals, and they could triage this fairly quickly and see where the need is and deploy the correct ambulance.
Receiving the keys, Paramount Chief of Nongowa Chiefdom, Kenema District, PC Sadiq Mahmoud Kapua, pledged the community's commitment to protect and maintain the ambulances. For a mother in labor at midnight or a child injured far from town, those 3 ambulances could make the difference between risk and rescue. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Demby, has said to prevent Ebola from entering Sierra Leone, his ministry and its partners have launched the Sierra Leone Health Travel Portal. It allows travelers to make known their health status before their arrival and their departure. Sulaiman Baba Toure witnessed the event in Lungay.
So with pride, honor, and dignity, today, June the 5th, we launched the Sierra Leone Health Travel Portal.
The Sierra Leone Health Portal, launched, was part of the Ministry of Health's preparedness and solution to prevent the disease from entering the country. The portal allows travelers to submit their health information before arrival and departure electronically, replacing the delaying paper-based processes with a faster digital system that gives real-time and reliable data. This system would support early detection, response, risk management, contact tracing, and strengthen coordination across health, aviation, immigration, and security agencies. It would also help in the integration of portal data with the national data system, equipping points of entry, and build the capacity of frontline teams, especially when the disease has no licensed vaccine and approved treatment. Points of entry staff would be deployed across the country's borders to operate the portal and screen travelers.
But again, after completing the form for the first time, the system will automatically pop up your username and password, because at that moment we are not expecting you probably to have internet connectivity to receive SMS or to receive email. So what the system will do, the system will automatically display your credentials.
Though the country enjoys 0 suspected and confirmed cases, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Dembi, admonished citizens to be vigilant and report any sign of Ebola.
So we don't know, say no case not there, but now for already. Now for already, don't not make the kind and slowness where we see now Uganda and Congo. Let on in our comments we now.
Partners like Shapaigo, Africa and US CDC, and UN and WHO family commended the government for such a swift measure in strengthening Sierra Leone's health system and prevention. They said closing the borders was not the solution to stop Ebola from entering the country again, but to put effective preventive measures in place to prepare the points of entry POE staff. Shapaigo and the Ministry of Health have also empowered about 30 staff working at the Freetown International Airport. Apart from Ebola, the ministry is also studying Mpox in sub-region and Lassa fever and Marburg in West and Eastern Africa. Sierra Leone lost many of its citizens to Ebola between 2014 and 2015. The disease has resurfaced and is currently in DR Congo. SLBC News, Sulaiman Babatue reporting.
And thousands of Sierra Leoneans now have a renewed chance at life, thanks to the life-changing work of Mercy Ships. For the past 3 years, the Global Mercy has delivered free surgeries, trained health workers, and strengthened Sierra Leone's healthcare system. As the humanitarian vessel departs Freetown, its impact will continue to be felt across the country. Our senior State House correspondent, Margaret Senge, was there and now reports.
3 years ago, the Global Mercy ships arrived in Freetown, carrying hopes to heal and restore dignity of Sierra Leoneans. It came carrying expertise, compassion, and a vision that quality health care should never be determined by geography, income, or circumstance. Managing Director Matt Murray Mercy Ships says its mission in Sierra Leone has been about restoring health, building human capacity, and leaving skills behind for the country's own health workforce. Country Director Sandra Lacor gave statistics of successful surgeries they performed since they docked in Freetown in 2023. She recounting the story of 10-month-old Memunatu, who underwent a life-changing surgery for S-neck mass that threatened her ability to eat, speak, and breathe.
Together, we have achieved something truly remarkable. We delivered more than 5,430 surgeries, reaching over 5,000 patients across 7 surgical specialties, which are shown at the bottom of the slide. Our dental team performed over 17,000 dental procedures for over 4,000 dental patients. These are not just impressive numbers, they represent lives changed. We were privileged to have Dr. Kaba, Deputy Chief Medical Officer for Clinical Services and surgeon, along with other Sierra Leonean surgeons, operate alongside our international volunteers. This is a true reflection of partnership and shared vision.
She added that they also built the capacity of many health workers through trainings and skills transfer locally and internationally. Dr. Lacor said the ship was going, but it had left footprint that would improve the health sector significantly. Minister of Health Austin Dembi said the presence of Mercy Ship in Sierra Leone came as a result of President Bio lobbying skills with key focus on ensuring a better life for Sierra Leoneans.
Today is not merely a farewell, it is a celebration of compassion in action, of lives transformed, and of a partnership that has touched the hearts of thousands of Sierra Leoneans. Over the past 3 years, Mercy Ships has become much more than a hospital ship anchored in our waters. It has become a symbol of hope, a symbol of healing, a symbol of what is possible when humanity comes together in service of those most in need.
President Julius Maada Bio, on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, with deep gratitude, commended Mercy Ship's crew.
To our Sierra Leonean volunteers and crew members who served aboard this vessel, yesterday I had the privilege of hosting many of you at State House. Let me say this. You made us proud. You represented Sierra Leone with professionalism, discipline, humility, and excellence. Thank you for being good Sierra Leoneans. You went aboard as talented Sierra Leoneans. You returned as global professionals. We welcome you to our communities and to the various places of work. The future of our healthcare system will be shaped by Sierra Leoneans like you. Our nation needs you.
In another development, President Bio has inspected the ECOWAS Conference Center in Lungi ahead of the ECOWAS Heads of State Summit scheduled for July this year. President Bio touring Lungi Conference Center, construction work ongoing, officials briefing the president. He said he is pleased with the ongoing work at the center as he was hopeful that the center would be ready to host our regional leaders in July. The conference hall is being prepared to accommodate delegates from the upcoming ECOWAS meeting, which Sierra Leone will host. The president says the Lungi facility will showcase Sierra Leoneans' readiness to host major regional events.
President of the Old Edwardians Association, Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi, has outlined his 100-day plan, which includes paving the school entrance and completing the transformation of the school's field into a modern artificial turf multi-purpose facility. He made this disclosure during a solemn blessing ceremony held for the new executive members of the national chapter at St. Edward's Parish in King Tom. Dennis Fraser was among the alumnus present at the ceremony and filed this report.
The service brought together past and present executives, including President Emeritus Dr. Josephus Bremer, members of the Alumni Association of St. Joseph's Secondary School, and distinguished Edwardians. During the ceremony, the new executive members were conferred sashes as a symbolic gesture of assumption of office, following prayers and blessings led by the parish priest, Reverend Father Philipson Samuel Moore. The ceremonious event created an atmosphere of captivating blessings, as was perceived in the sermon and words of wisdom by the parish priest.
The idea in the speech today may be the wisdom that seems to be. So, listen. Make room for other voices. Let kindness lead before your predictions.
The new executive also donated a 30 kVA generator to St. Edward's Parish and pledged to support its fuel and maintenance for 1 year period. The ceremony concluded with a procession to the school grounds, marking a symbolic transition of leadership and a renewed commitment to strengthening the institution's legacy.
St. Edward's is known for history. We don't want to rely on past glories. That's why we seek the face of God, so that what we have done in the past, this executive will do more than that, will replicate and do more than that.
Speaking at the Secretariat, President of the Old Edwardians Association, Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi, outlined his 100-day plan, which includes paving the school entrance and completing the transformation of the school's field into a modern artificial turf multi-purpose facility.
We are planning on doing a massive construction from the junction over there and all the way into the school compound. And there to see where we can fix in terms of classrooms, and we have to make sure we give them a conducive learning atmosphere.
The new leadership called on all Edwardians to unite in supporting the development of both St. Edward's and St. Joseph's Secondary School, while making them an envy of society. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Earlier, the president of the Old Edwardians Association National Chapter Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi has pledged to run an accountable, transparent and effective administration. He called for collective commitment for the progress of the Alumni Association and the school in general. He was speaking at the St. Edward's Secondary School grounds during the handing over ceremony held to usher him as president-elect. Dennis Fraser again.
I'm encouraging all of you guys to be part of the mass.
The handing over ceremony, which was coming following his election into office as president of the national chapter, along with his incoming executive team, was graced by members of the previous administration, school authorities, and past distinguished Edwardians, who openly demonstrated confidence that under the guidance of Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi as president-elect, his regime was expected to continue to foster unity, support its alma mater, and elevate the standard of excellence that St. Edward's is known for. The president of the Old Edwardians Association National Chapter, Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi, said he believed that the future of the Alumni Association should be anchored on accountable, transparent, strong financial management and modern systems that promote efficiency and trust that surpasses expectations.
That's enough with the accountability and transparency aspect of it. You have to be accountable for every dime. The money is not yours. These Edwardians put in their money, their resources to promote growth both in the school and the association. So it's our responsibility to make sure we use those monies judiciously and account for them too, because the monies are not us.
He noted that through his bold vision, he and his executive team will champion the transformative agenda, not just the association, but the St. Edward's Secondary School in particular.
If the school, St. Edward's Secondary School, is not performing in public exams, we have no business being there. So first things first, we have to make sure we create the enabling environment for the pupils of the school and even the teachers, for them to be able to teach the kids well, the pupils well, and even the people in turn, when they come to school, they make sure that they are fit. The atmosphere is conducive enough for them to go to school.
He lauded the previous executive for what he described as an impactful tenure. He promised that his administration will continue to set the standard high with the support of other branch chapters, such as UK and Ireland and USA branches. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
You're still tuned in to News Hour on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. Now, Mothers Union of Bishop Crowther Memorial Anglican Church in Klein Town has celebrated its 70th anniversary, marking 7 decades of faith, service, and community outreach. Almami Conte filed this report, read in the studio by Suleiman Toure.
Union branches from across Freetown to reflect on the organization's journey since its establishment in June 1965. The celebration featured worship, a Thanksgiving procession, cake cutting, and the presentation of plaques and certificates to dedicated members. Addressing the congregation, the Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Freetown and the North, Bishop Thomas A.I. Wilson, described the anniversary as an opportunity not only to celebrate but also to reaffirm the church's commitment to discipleship and evangelism. He urged members to strengthen their mission of winning souls for Christ and advancing God's kingdom.
With the changing world today, with our young people growing up today, if we don't show them Christ and point them to Christ, what would assume we have? So all our work will be in vain. But if we show them Christ, and they accept Christ, and they walk with Christ, then we know we are blessed with lasting legacy to the glory and glory of God.
Enrolling member of the branch, Rebecca Fubawa, said the anniversary reflects a decade of impacts through evangelism, support for vulnerable children, and fundraising efforts to strengthen the church. She expressed hope that the union will continue expanding its outreach to families and communities.
A big achievement for 70 years.
Celebrating the 70th anniversary of the Bishop Crowther Memorial Church Mothers Union is a good achievement, and I am proud to be part of it. Over the years, we have been involved in evangelism, supporting vulnerable children, and raising funds for the church. Going forward, we hope to do even more in winning souls and supporting families, especially mothers, facing challenges in their homes.
Also speaking at the event, 82-year-old Rosabella Olubumi Thomas, one of the branch's longest-serving members, expressed gratitude for witnessing the historic milestone and encouraged younger members to continue building on the union's legacy of service.
Well, I'm so glad.
I am overwhelmed with joy and greatness to God for witnessing this 70th anniversary. At 82 years old, I am thankful to have lived to see this milestone in good health. The younger generation is doing very well, and I encourage them not to relent so that the union continues to go from strength to strength.
As it celebrates 70 years of ministry, the Bishop Crowther Memorial Church Mothers Union says it remains committed to discipleship, community service, and strengthening Christian families for generations to come. For SLBC News, Alimami Conte reporting.
The Baptist Convention of Sierra Leone has held a farewell ceremony in honor of its outgoing National Executive President and his wife, in appreciation of their 10 years of dedicated service. Harold Williams reports.
Dozens of people congregated to grace the outgoing executive president, Reverend Dr. Joseph Kaiforna, and his wife, Pastor Mariama Kaiforna, known also as the First Lady of the Baptist Convention. The celebration of dignitaries was dedicated to more than a decade of esteemed service from the husband and wife towards the membership of the Baptist Convention. Keynote speaker from Liberia, Professor Momolu Masakoi, praised Reverend Dr. Joseph Kaiforna as a man with widespread legacy who loved development. Reverend Dr. Kaiforna says that under his stewardship, institutions and human resources continued to grow, health services expanded, and the impact of the mission's work reached communities across the nation.
We were able to achieve several things. We were able to acquire on freehold the 21.7-acre land of the Baptist Convention in Lusa, and by special grace, we have been able to fence that compound and put up a dynamic, powerful, extravagant structure called the multi-purpose building that houses a dining hall, a conference center, and an office space for the Baptist work of Sierra Leone. By the special grace of God, we were able to also refurbish the Baptist Hospital, and through support from CBM, we were able to acquire state-of-the-art equipment, making our eye care hospital second to none in the country. Over 45 pastors we are supported or have been supported with a monthly stipend of at least 1,000 loans for the past 5-6 years, and they are still getting this support. And by special grace of God, we have been able to train our pastors, our teachers, and even doctors so they can support and give more relevance and value to the Baptist Convention work in Sierra Leone.
The devotion of hymns, presentation of certificates, and other accolades formed the much anticipated part of the program.
Now, fire has destroyed 5 government buses at the Kisi bus depot. A public notice from the Sierra Leone Transport Authority said the unfortunate incident occurred at approximately 10 p.m. on Friday, 5th June 2026. The Sierra Leone Fire Force was said to have responded very quickly and put out the fire before it could spread to other buses and facilities at the depot. The buses had been operating on provincial routes. The Sierra Leone Transport Authority said no Wakafine buses were affected and there were no casualties reported. The Sierra Leone Transport Authority said the Sierra Leone Fire Force have started investigations to determine the cause of the fire. Meanwhile, reports reaching this medium says one person has died and several others injured in a road fatal accident which involved a trailer loaded with fruits, vegetables and palm oil. It also hit an electric pole at Sino Junction, Wellington, Calabar Town, in the east part of Freetown at around 4 a.m. Saturday in the morning, 6th June 2026. According to one of the passengers on board the vehicle, the initial driver had handed it to his conductor to continue their journey. She alleged that the conductor was driving at a high speed even when some passengers were cautioning him to minimize the speed and he couldn't abide to it. Some eyewitnesses say it was due to brake failure. The said vehicle was carrying 6 passengers, which include the driver and the conductor. SLBC will keep an eye on the story as investigations unfold. Now, the National Mandingo Union of Sierra Leone has officially appointed a new district tribal head for Connaught District following the death of their tribal head. This came after months of consultations aimed at restoring unity and effective leadership within the Mandingo community. Sulaiman Dumbuya was at the ceremony in Freetown.
The appointment ceremony held in Freetown saw executives of the union, community leaders, women representatives, and stakeholders coming together in solidarity. The president of the National Mandingo Union, Alhaji Kanja Sise, said the body had received several complaints and concerns from its members in Connaught District regarding leadership. He said they dispatched senior executives, including regional vice presidents, to conduct fact-finding missions and engage community members. After several engagements, they made recommendations to the Ministry of Local Government, which later appointed Afram Bayo, the new Mandingo tribal head for Connaught District. Alhaji Kanja Sise admonished the new tribal head of what was expected of him as a local leader.
Is to bring the Mandingo people of Connaught, in this case, bring them together and help to work closely with the central government in looking after the affairs of that tribe, and also in helping government to collect local taxes from his own subjects.
He added that the appointment of Mr. Bayo was to promote peace, strengthening unity, and ensuring that the community remains focused on development. The newly appointed Mandingo tribal head for Connaught District, Afram Bayo, pledged to work towards reconciliation and unity within the Mandingo community.
Appoint me as a deputy to
I am committed to using my experience and leadership to bring all members of the Mandingo community together, regardless of our past differences. The ceremony concluded with prayers, congratulatory messages, and renewed calls for unity among Mandingo people in Connaught District.
Diplomatic relations between Sierra Leone and Côte d'Ivoire reached a new milestone on Friday, June 5th, with the official inauguration of the Honorary Consulate of Côte d'Ivoire in Sierra Leone. The ceremony, held at Lagunda Entertainment Complex in Aberdeen, Freetown, was marked by a sophisticated cocktail reception attended by dignitaries, business leaders, and media representatives. Abdul Kabir witnessed the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite you to raise your glasses in honor of Mr. Mohinder bin Singh Sachdeva.
The event was held under the Grand Chief Patronage of Her Excellency Madame Georgette, Ambassador Extraordinaire and Presiding of Côte d'Ivoire to Sierra Leone and Liberia. Ambassador Georgette emphasized that the new diplomatic mission will strengthen bilateral trade, cultural exchange, and provide support to the Ivorian community in Sierra Leone. Hosting the inaugural celebration was Mr. Mohinder bin Singh Sachdeva, the newly appointed honorary consul, a figure in Freetown's business community. Mr. Sachdeva expressed gratitude for the trust placed in him, noting that the consulate symbolizes a shared history and joint commitment to future prosperity. He pledged to create new opportunities and build bridges that benefit citizens of both nations.
To my dear friends,
in the diplomatic and consul corps. Thank you for your presence and solidarity. Diplomacy is a steady journey, and I'm eager to work alongside with you to promote mutual understanding and common progress.
Among the notable attendees was Josephine Fatima Kamara, the Director General of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, underscoring the strong relationship between the diplomatic community and national media. Representing the government of Sierra Leone, Chief Minister Dr. David Senge highlighted the importance of the partnership and stressing the benefits of closer collaboration with Côte d'Ivoire.
This light, electricity that we are seeing comes from Côte d'Ivoire. The CLSG line, which exists, runs from Côte d'Ivoire through Liberia, Sierra Leone, and goes all the way to Guinea. And we have more trade between our ports from Abidjan all the way through to Freetown, and several other businesses, economic activities. His Excellency, the Consul, one of your main tasks is going to be to ensure that Air Côte d'Ivoire begins to fly again.
The evening concluded with a vote of thanks and a renewed call for collaboration, leaving guests optimistic about the future of Côte d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone relations. Abdul Kabia, SLBC News, Freetown.
The Victoria School of Empowerment under the Zion Praise Tabernacle has certified 45 students following a vocational training program including hairdressing, fashion design, tailoring, event planning and decoration, makeup artistry, and cake baking. The initiative was designed to promote skills development and to ensure economic self-reliance among youths and women. Our reporter Christiana Kamara has more.
Out of 74 participants who enrolled in the program, 45 students successfully completed training in hairdressing, fashion design, makeup artistry, event planning and decoration, and cake baking. The program was part of a growing movement within the Zion Praise Tabernacle to equip its members with employable skills that will translate into income generation and small business creation. The General Overseer of Zion Praise Tabernacle, Reverend James Bangura, said the initiative reflected the church's commitment to social responsibility beyond the pulpit. He said the program was established to ensure that members were not only spiritually strengthened, but also economically empowered to sustain themselves, their families, and the nation at large. He emphasized that vocational training remains a practical response to unemployment, encouraging graduates to utilize their skills responsibly and build sustainable livelihoods. He further urged them to become productive members of society and role models within their communities.
We have a social responsibility also as a church for add value to the people who are part of the church, not just to preach to them. Jesus did not just preach to people, he fed people. So one of the ways we can also help to make people become better in society is to teach them skills that they can go out there and use, that they will be able to feed themselves and feed their family in turn.
The proprietress of the Victoria School of Empowerment, Madiana Gogra, reaffirmed the institution's commitment to continue providing opportunities for young people and women to acquire practical skills that will transform their lives and improve their economic prospects.
We want to give women power, power to own their own future, power to serve, power to let them know that they are very much important. Our women are empowered so that they will be able to stand up for themselves.
Speakers at the ceremony also underscored the importance of turning vocational skills into viable enterprises. They stressed discipline, consistency, professionalism, and the need for graduates to build strong reputations anchored on trust and quality service delivery. Some graduates expressed appreciation for the opportunity, describing the training as life-changing, and expressed confidence that it will enable them to become self-reliant and support their family.
I'm a student at the moment. I've just started to my WAS. I've just started the WAS, and I'm actually waiting to enroll into college. But seeing that this was given to us by our Daddy, and I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity because the prizes are like a lot when you want to go and learn such things. I thought about learning this thing at a particular institute, and they said it was up to like 10 to 15 million, and practicals and the others were not involved in it, so this opportunity was something I couldn't miss.
The ceremony concluded with certificate presentations, prayers, and celebrations, marking the formal transition of the graduates into society as trained entrepreneurs ready to contribute to national development. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana Kamari reporting.
That was our closing news report, and trending news, the main points again. Kenema District has received a major boost in emergency healthcare with the arrival of 3 fully renovated ambulances at Kenema Government Hospital. The ambulances, provided by the Ministry of Health through the National Emergency Medical Services, are equipped to stabilize patients and transport them safely during emergencies. Hundreds of residents in Kenema have received free specialist healthcare services during a 2-day medical outage organized by the Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Development partners. The outage forms part of the association's Mid-Year Congress 2026 and its 55th anniversary celebrations held under the theme, The Role of Health Professionals in Achieving Zero Preventable Maternal and Child Deaths in Sierra Leone. And President of the Old Edwardians Association, Commissioner Richard Hindolo Senesi, has outlined his 100-day plan, which includes paving the school entrance and completing the transformation of the school's field into a modern artificial turf multi-purpose facility. He made this disclosure during a solemn blessing ceremony held for the new executive members of the national chapter at St. Edward's Parish in King Tom. That is how we wrap up this edition of News Hour from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I have been your anchor, Stella Bangura. Goodbye.